Welcome back. Today is the grand opening of a new area to the park. Bread Incorporated had excavated the area to the north using the new mining device Prototype 13, but they have unearthed something that has struck fear into everyone. Let's go take a look at what is going on. The incident.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winder, this is Winder TV, and tonight's 2-week challenge is brought to you by Winder and...
Mr. Rally Me Tech.
We've got a guest host in person right there.
How's it going, bud? Yeah, alright.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. There is a third wheel in this call tonight, and that is Mr. Bread. Can I get a bread? So, talk me through your ideas behind the start of this park, Bread. Where did the idea come from?
My idea didn't really come to head until like the day after, and as some of you guys know, I'm like a huge fan of monster movies. The older and cheesier, the better. Like, I love Godzilla and Gamera and Farron, all those old school monster movies. So, took a look at the area. And when I come up with area ideas, I like to look at the rides I'm going to use and see if I can kind of build lore around that. And that's kind of where I started. I was like, well, this could be some kind of like high-tech mining device that's being tested. So it's like, let's put it on the side of the mountain and go old school. You know, they're digging up
Go on.
this stuff and the big equipment. And when in the process of that, he ends up waking up the other monster, and they, were frozen in time during a big battle, so now their battle is raging again. So that's kind of the idea here for it.
Which is definitely a lot of storytelling throughout this, as we'll see if we go in and have a check.
So it was a very, very small area, weren't it, really? And you were handed, obviously, the power swing, which was voted on by chat. You were given the invert coaster, and also the Anubis, isn't it? The hyper coaster.
That's right, yeah.
So you've got. So what you were given also? What was it with the invert? So you had to do a triggered event, which is hopefully we'll get to see in a minute. And then also with the hyper, we wanted a 200-foot drop. If I remember correctly. So not easy. Not easy coasters to build.
Especially in that little tiny area, man. That was the hardest part, because I wanted to do it in a way where, everything had breathing room, but I kind of was like, oh boy, this is going to be a challenge, so...
Yeah, and especially when Winder threw in the fact that you couldn't do any terrain work either.
That was... I think that was the hardest part to work around, because I was like, man, I kind of want to dig out the mountain a little bit so you can see all of the ride skin, but I just ended up burying it in there. So there's probably 1,000 pieces on that you can't see.
And I do know, there is a fair chunk that's buried, which makes it look all the more authentic. Like they've dug into the side of this mountain, and then suddenly this has happened. All these monsters have sprung up out of nowhere.
I love that idea as well, and that kind of ties into them not wanting to do any terraforming, is the fact that he's kind of mimicked that is what's released these
used
things.
It.
Yeah, it's very clever.
It's very, very cool. Anyway, let's have a look inside.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to unpause this so we can see everything moving and walking. I love this sign. Very, very cool.
The integration of that onto the train track as well, especially
Well, I'll tell a little lie. I asked him after he'd sent the park. I said, "Look, I need a sign. I need a sign for your area." So he built this up, and I said,
that was.
I think the sign's incredible.
On doing a sign for it.
Yeah, but what you've done in 5 minutes is. Well, let's go and have a look.
What he did there.
So first off, the first thing we come to is the power swing, and I love the fact that you've elevated it, because it's a humongous bit of ride.
That thing is gigantic.
So the fact
that
it's
it on the ground, I'm like, man, there's no room for lines and nothing. So I decided to prop it up on a transport device almost. Big device that they use to move the prototype around. So
yeah, well, it's quality. And there's a ride like this in Thorpe Park in the UK. It's called Rush, and it's a big ride. like
That's
this.
just on the ground, isn't it?
But
not
it's on the
raised.
ground. I think if it was elevated like, 20 odd metres like that is, I probably wouldn't go on it. But it's incredible.
That was kind of another reason why I wanted it elevated too. It just adds more of that thrill factor. Because, I mean, you're already swinging pretty high on that, but then you bring it up even higher. It's like, oh, well, if we fall, we're done.
it's good.
Well, risk and reward, isn't it?
And I love the way that the paths are all integrated, and it's really nice around here. Like, I asked you to make a plaza, and you have, but it doesn't look like one because you've just used your natural path and just
the terrain paintwork is amazing on that, isn't it?
It's quality.
I like this side view as well, just underneath the exit, I believe there. This really shows off that it is that bit of machinery. It's not just a platform. It's kind of being driven along on these huge kind of Caterpillar-style tank tracks right into the side of the wall.
I said, don't touch my mountain, it's pretty. And so he's driven a tank into the side of it. Obviously, you did have some other amenities. You had your two toilets, which you've masked pretty nicely there. And you had your information, very, very important, because I did want both of these coasters to have priority passes.
And if you look at your maintenance guy right there, that's actually the staff room.
I've noticed that, yeah.
Oh,
over
there.
the back
I hid
end
it
there.
underneath the station of the coaster. So,
well done. So that's masked as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
I
all of these
don't like the
open?
way
Is
the
that why the
bathroom
guest-
and staff rooms look when they're just the shop front. They're just big gaping holes, so I try to hide them behind doors if I can. Kind of lose some of that
Yeah, I like
realism
when
when you
people
just
can cover
see
it like
people
that.
walk through the walls, but sacrifices we make for Planet Coaster.
So we've got two coasters. Let's move around a bit, because obviously the giant prototype here is formidable on its own, but then you walk round the corner and you've got...
Yeah, that's a grating, isn't it? And here we see the triggered event as well.
Yeah, I
Whoa.
wanted the triggered event to be more of like a spectacle for the people on the ground rather than on the ride, because it plays really important to the lore of the area,
yeah.
so that's kind of why I set it up the way I did.
So explain the lore.
So the fire sting is attacking the prototype because it woke it from its sleep, so that's like why the prototype is exploding, and then you see the ground like exploding almost like a shock wave, and then that it hits where King Kappa is sleeping, and that's why you get the big water blast, because it's waking him up from his sleep.
And so this is a duel between these two mad monsters.
Yes, exactly. It was supposed to be.
And like us building the theme
that's
park
like the
has
idea,
just
but
woken them up.
obviously you can't make them animated, so...
Yeah.
No, but that adds so much in, having that interaction in there, especially as you've said, it's a very small area. So to be able to have the focus of that triggered event that was asked for actually in there and not just hidden away at the back of a coaster kind of really helps to make the most out of such a small area. Very,
hell
very
are
clever
these?
way of doing it.
It's stalagmites. aren't they?
Stalactites, yeah.
Yeah, it's the stalactites.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, bloody hell, that's almost like a fifth of your build pieces, like the total allotted, just in that giant millipede thing.
1,800 fire sting.
Fire sting.
Fire
Sorry.
Yeah.
1,800 pieces. That's insane. Obviously, I gave you a 10k limit, and yeah, you've used like a fifth. Just not even building a station, just a prop to go on top of the station.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the texture that it
I
gives
think I'm
and
just
the
under
coloration,
7,000 altogether for the whole area.
that's very impressive, dude, to come
Yeah,
in
that's
so
good.
under budget.
Because obviously this prototype, that's not as much as I was thinking it was going to be. 1,500 pieces. When you go into the detail on these wheels and stuff, like on these treads, 1,500. That's quite good.
Oh.
Over there, look.
Yeah. I even like the way that you've skinned the shops and whatnot. It's almost like storage crates that have been kind of brought in to potentially contain these guys.
Yeah, I didn't want the buildings to look like really nice and clean, because I wanted them to have like a temporary, we just throw them down here so that we can get the job done, and then we'll tear it down and move on. So it's kind of why I went with just like a really rustic wooden look, and no like glass or metal or anything, like no concrete.
It's almost like the start of
something light
Jurassic
and easy
Park.
that they can transport in.
It's brilliant. It's bonkers, man.
And then this guy here, I tried to make it look like he was burrowing out from the ground. So I
Yeah.
did terraform around him a little bit, but I think it was okay to do it in that spot.
Naughty, what's going on here? Joking.
That's fine. That's fine.
I kind of envisioned the fire sting as like a colony,
Ah.
rather than like they're kind of like a hive mind. So if they kept digging, like more and more of these things were gonna keep spilling out of it. I thought about naming it like Fire Swarm, but
Okay.
I wanted to go with Sting instead because it was supposed to be like giant centipedes.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's so cool. Right, I think we need to have a look at King Kappa now. That's so cool.
I love that. It reminds me so much of like Never Ending Story with that. What's the name of that turtle that raised up out of the water? That had, like,
Oh yeah, Morla.
that's
Morla.
the one. Love that, but obviously a little bit more
I did
menacing.
draw a lot of inspiration from Morla. Obviously Gamera.
Yeah.
But those were kind of the. And then I mean, there's a Pokemon too that is like a big tortoise with like a bonsai tree on his back. So.
It's so good.
But that's it. You can
Thanks.
tell that,
Well, I
that
appreciate that, man.
he would just literally be kind of burrowed down just below the surface, and he's raised up and taken the entire land with him. That's such a good idea, man.
Tortuga.
Tortuga, that's
He's only got 400 pieces to him. Very good.
economical, man.
Very economical. I'm surprised.
He's got he even has a dinosaur skull stuck in his teeth.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Look.
And that kind of gives you an idea as well of the scale of this, because obviously
It's
us
huge.
whizzing around, you don't really know what it's like until you physically go in and see it yourself. But I think
It's
everyone
huge.
knows the size of that dinosaur skull, and it's like a little toothpick for
I mean,
this
if-
dude.
Look how big he is. These are huge. Compared to the
Yeah, he's
rest.
a big boy.
Compared to the rest of the park. Like if you put a little archer next to him. Oof.
But also the tree work on top kind of helps to mask this area from the industrial area that Sirius
Yeah,
did.
you can't see anything. The sightlines are fantastic. Look. Oh, you can only see the coasters popping up over the top.
Yeah,
You can't see any of those monsters until you cross
And
actually into
I
the
tried
area.
to do that too because I wanted them to be a secret until you were actually in the area.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want it to take away from Sirius's like elements. You know, I wanted you to be immersed in his area, and I didn't want you to see these big monsters looming in the background and steal away from his theme or anything. So I tried to. That's why I placed them on the water's edge and kind of hid them a little bit.
Yeah, hidden around the
So,
corner.
like I thought about maybe putting one on the mountain, kind of behind the swing, but I tried it and you could clearly see it in the
Yeah,
distance.
that would be
so
very hard
I
to
decided
hide.
to remove that one.
I think maybe we need to take a POV on one of these coasters. Is there any preference over which of the coasters you'd like us to POV first?
Personally, I like King Kappa better of the two. I just think it's a better, smoother ride. I kind of struggled a little bit with smoothing Fire Sting.
Yeah.
That being said, I still enjoy the ride. I just think Kappa is a better experience. So I'd say maybe start with Fire Sting and
Alright.
end on a high note.
That's what we'll do.
Cool.
Yeah, both queue lines do have priority.
Excellent. Yeah, we can see that
Oh
straight
yeah,
away. in
straight
there.
away. There you go, there's priority. Bang. Like it. And look, I love the little cattle grid.
Yeah.
Custom cattle grid. Works good.
No, well, that's it. It's realistic. It's what you would get in like most parks. It's just
Yeah.
bare minimum, and obviously all of the focus is on the detailing of like the creations above the station itself.
Oh, there's music playing.
Let's give it a quick pause and let's just double check these stats.
Yeah. Duration, 101 seconds. I said I
was
wanted
90,
90.
yeah.
So that's well over. That's good. You got a max speed of 64 miles per hour. Nice track length, 1,000 metres. That's a good length coaster. That's longer than any coaster in the UK.
Oh yeah,
Average speed, 22 miles per hour. So it's not going to hurt you. Biggest drop, 40 metres. Your
It's
Oh,
a
the G's are
relatively
well
tame
inspired.
coaster. I mean, for what it is, I think it's pretty tame.
Yeah. Right, okay. Should we have a ride? Who wants POV? just want to see it going
I've caught
round.
up with you.
It was a bit of an interest one. So
Hey,
you can
Molo,
see
how's it going?
that first drop is just wonderful.
Thank you.
I mean, this to me does just feel like a standard BNM, only blowing up to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't anything that's like, it's not rewriting the rule book, but it's everything that you'd want out of that kind of ride, but amplified. The hang time there is great, the interaction's great.
It's smooth. It was really
Yeah.
smooth. Nice broad turns. You've had quite a large area to play with in terms of. I know you'd prefer to go into the mountain probably, but in terms of that area space, it's allowed you to make some lovely broad turns there. Let's escape out of this. Well, there you go. So that is Firesting. Very, very, very happy with that. Beautiful coaster. Let's go and have a look at this queue line. So you got straight away. You've got
Very
your,
economical use there.
Yeah.
And this is the view that I was on about. I love how from the queue line here, that just looks like rockwork and a waterfall. It's not like you can even see anything of the monster.
Yeah.
I think that's just beautiful.
Right, let's have a look then. King Kappa. Let's have quick check. Oh, we're all green across the
And
top.
high as well, especially on the excitement.
Very high. So you got 130 seconds here. So that's over 2 minutes. That's a big, big coaster. Track length 1,500. Max speed 83. That's quick.
That's blinding.
We got some great stats across here. I'm very happy with those. The biggest drop 68 meters. That's 200 foot, isn't it?
Yeah,
200 foot.
that thereabouts.
I'll give him it.
Yeah.
Wave turn at the end there was just. I'd love to ride that. Love to ride that.
Yeah, I mean, with the hypers, I mean, it's basically just airtime. Like, that's all you really get. So I didn't want it just to be regular hill after regular hill after regular hill. So, you know, I threw a lot of the overbanks in. Well, really, you know how much I like my overbanks.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Lovely. Hopefully we don't get an auto save again.
Nah, you're not that bad with it.
The way this goes through here. So quick.
Yeah, I wanted it to just, you know, take your breath away through there.
I think this is a breathtaking coaster, definitely.
That, for me, is my favourite element.
Yeah.
The really big overbank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
That's
Love it.
mental. Such a good coaster.
Thank you, guys. I'm glad everybody's liking it.
So good. And these
Thank you.
supports, these are custom, aren't they? They've got to be.
Oh
Yeah, they are
custom all
custom.
day.
Oh wow, they're very, very good.
What-
I love it how you've taken supports out, as you were saying. You didn't want too much in the water, which was like a goal personally, not for me but for the locals.
We don't want to upset the locals because we want to be able to keep having our park grow.
Exactly. So I like it that you've stuck to that, and this is really quite genius.
It's a beautiful design.
It's nice. And from the front of the park, I know we didn't really get to see it from the front of the park, but like that backdrop.
Yeah, that's what you want to see as you come in. Something like that off in the background makes you want to kind of go a bit deeper and explore.
We need to see a night view.
Oh yes, we do.
We do.
Oh
need to
yeah,
see
I
a
was gonna
night
say there
views.
is night lighting.
Is there night lighting on all of it, or just in the area? Have we got some coaster night lighting?
Just in the area. Yep, I didn't end up doing lighting on the outside. It's just in the area.
Ooh, it looks really cool and natural. So here's your lighting on the top of here, obviously, as we come through. It's very well lit. Is
Yeah,
that
I
just
wanted
from
to
these
go with those like
floodlights?
construction-looking lights just to fit with the worksite vibe. But then I wanted the rides to have like their elemental colors. So Kappa's like water and grass, so he's got the blues and greens, and then obviously like reds and stuff for Fire Sting. So
We'll go over there now. So this is all the floodlighting, isn't it, that you've used, basically?
yeah, I can't remember what they're called in game, but they look like construction lights.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like the lights underneath in the
Oh
station.
yeah,
there.
I hadn't seen that before.
They're
Stripe
very
effect.
cool, green and blue. And Kappa, there he is in all his glory, King Kappa.
Looking even more menacing at night. Love it.
Looks very good. And I love it how like these have got like green and blue glows on the trees, and then over here you get like the nice red ones of Fire Sting.
It's such a good contrast.
Where's Fire Sting?
Some working in of the orange and yellows as well.
Fire Sting, look at that. And I bet when this trigger goes off, it's going to be insane.
Look at that.
You know, I wanted to give this sweet area, but no one's allowed in it. It's just for us. VIP only.
Exactly. So there you go. Well, thank you very much, Brett.
That again, surely. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad you brought me into it. I really enjoyed myself with this.
Fantastic.
I'm glad you said yes. Thank you so much, sir. And I suppose we better say goodbye. Catch you on the flip, bruv. Peace out and good luck for this
All right,
week.
guys.
Later, Breadman. See you
It's a
again.
good time. Thanks for having me. Relly, Winder, you guys are great. I'll catch you soon.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Cheers, guys.
Now, I have been having some conversations, me and the developers, the people in charge of Winderland, the owners. So, as I was saying, the developers, we're constantly looking at ways of improving the land. We looked at areas of the park where we did have space, and to be honest, there isn't a lot. We looked at the mountain, but the structural soundness of the insides of the mountain isn't quite there. We've got some areas to the side of Sirius's area that just aren't room for anything of any magnitude. So then we've started looking outside of the box. We've started talking to the holiday park, which is to the east of the mountain. The holiday park have noticed Winderland, and we've brought in a lot of money to their site, so they are happy to work with us. But the owner is a little bit
Disgruntled.
voracious.
Right, okay.
Quite kind of well, let me introduce them anyway. Here we go.
Winderland is a success. Our new roller coasters have really put our park on the map. As you know, the park executives are constantly looking at ways of developing and expanding the park, and they are very happy to announce a brand new expansion taking over the area covered by the Holiday Village. The area is large and will need a completely new theme of its own. The rides that will go in this area are...
Stop! We are not here to talk about these semi-parky little rides. I want to hear about the new Windermere Resort.
I was getting to that bit, just wait your turn.
I am the representative for the Windermere Holiday Park.
I was getting
And
to...
I will be here to oversee the development on my land.
a brand new expansion.
We have heard enough of your fluffy advertisements for this fairground. Our new partnership dictates that you will build and promote the grand resort. Your park is secondary. The hotel must be preference as the summer is coming up quickly. They have given you the land, now we expect the good results. Get a move on.
The owner of the holiday park, he's quite disgruntled, but he has cause to be. This is his land.
Exactly.
He isn't
These have
selling
been
it
here
to
for
us.
ages.
He isn't selling it to us. He's going in 50-50. He said we can continue the theme park, but he wants in on it. And I mean, who
He's
wouldn't
every
want
right
in
to
on
do
it?
that? Yeah, of course.
Who wouldn't want in on it? But so basically, he said to us, you could build your park, but with the space that you're now taking, I want a new hotel. I want a hotel. I want a resort. I want it big, and I want to take all the profits from the hotel and the resort. And we said, okay. So, I've enlisted 2 builders.
Interesting.
Oh, 2 builders. Who'd have thunk it? $10,000 limit. You cannot go past these walls. So where these
Theme is
walls go-
decided.
Sorry, theme is decided. Wow, quick. You've got these as well, just so you know. You've got your ribs, your Mexican, your water, and your soda. You've also got a loony balloons. You've got an information, very, very important, because I do expect this ride here will be very busy. The rolling river.
Yeah.
So I expect
Another priority pass,
yeah,
probably.
another priority. I mean, you can stick one on this if you want. We don't have one on Sirius's coaster. You can stick one on there if you feel like you need to, but this is going to be the one that's going to get the punters in, so that will need a priority pass.
Well, plus that priority pass is going to bring in more money, making the landowner a little bit happier.
Well, no, this is making us. The landowner only gets the takings from the hotel.
With you.
So, speaking of the landowner, nice link there, segue. We're going to get over now to our hotel area. Second builder, we need you to finish off what has been started here. We need you to build these paths in so they're not just floating in midair. You've got the foundations for your hotel, at least the foyer of your hotel, with a little bit of an underground car park going on in there. I'm not going to go involved too much. We'll look at that another time.
Yeah.
And you've got to build. And unfortunately, the guy is quite. This is what he wants, so we kind of have to follow
Our
him.
hands are tied somewhat on this one.
So, you need a hotel. Secondly, you're going to need a restaurant. And you also need to build a swimming pool. Lastly, the guy who owns this area wants this to be a 5-star hotel.
Exactly. You need something more than just accommodation.
Yeah. Accommodation, that gets you 2 to 3 stars depending on the accommodation. Swimming pool, that'll get you a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurant, you're still
Knocking
around
on
the
the
4.
door.
You need something more. You need a resort. So, an entertainment venue. Right. Thank you so much, Brad, for such a phenomenal player.
Phil.
Absolute phenomenal area, absolute brilliant coasters. I'm going to open this up to the public in a minute so they can start running around and having fun with it. Dissy, good luck. You've got 2 weeks starting tomorrow. Basically, when I get the park to you, I'll send you a link with the base park in a minute. Cockers, same for you. 2 weeks. Anyway, peace out, guys. Catch you on the flip. Love you, mad loads. Here we go. Go.
Thanks, everyone. It's been absolutely great tonight.
Mwah. Peace out.